Hey folks, alright, so this video is a follow-up to a ceiling tile repair video I did, and one of the guys in the comments, or persons in the comments, said that that the technique that I used with the drywall screws and putting them up would only be effective for about a week, and then the ceiling would start sagging again. So that's an interesting problem that this gentleman has. That has not been my experience. But I was thinking about, the repair lasted, but what I've been thinking about is why this might have happened to this individual in that occurrence. And one of the things that it said in the comments was that the weight of the ceiling tile would come down. But here's a ceiling tile that I have here. Let me turn the lights on again a little bit, and maybe that'll help. But you can see these ceiling, I have one left over. And this thing is made out of, I don't even know what it's made out of, mica or something. It's really, really lightweight. I mean, really lightweight. This ceiling tile is 1x1, and I don't even think it weighs a pound. It's got to be like ounces. I wish I had a scale to tell you exactly. The other thing is, the screws that you use are kind of important. So I use these drywall screws, okay, number 6 by 2 inches. And the thing with the drywall screws is, see the head on the screw there? Can you see that? See, it's a pretty broad head, and that way it grips a larger surface area of the tile as it goes through. Now, it is important not to screw this too far into the soft material, because then it will go through and not do the job that you want it to do, which is to support the weight. So when you ease the screw in, when you're using a drill, or if you're doing this by hand, just very lightly towards the end as you come up to the surface. You really don't need to countersink it. Just make it flush with the surface of the tile. That helps. In fact, and it's funny, the weight of this screw actually feels like, well, I won't go that far, but I'd say probably about 3 or 4 of these screws probably weigh as much as this tile. This tile is really light. So I'm thinking, why did this individual have a problem with the ceiling sagging after he did the repair? And this is a different repair that I did in the same room, and I'll show you what happened to me while I was doing this repair. So we had kind of fudged it. The tiles were sagging. You can see here where I just used like putty to kind of fill in the gaps so people wouldn't notice, and then painted over in white. And that was a stopgap measure until I got to this. So finally, when we get to looking at what's going on up here and why it's sagging so much, I thought it was just like water damage or something. I didn't know what it was. Once I started tearing out the adhesive material that I had used to cover up the gaps, this is what happened. See all this junk that started coming down here? It was like sand, and then big pieces of junk, look, falling out from on top of the ceiling tile. And I thought to myself, what the heck happened here? Did the water, I thought maybe there's a sink above it and there's a dishwasher on the second floor. And I thought, well, maybe it's wood that rotted away or something like that. But no, what it was this had originally been a plaster ceiling underneath where the ceiling tiles had been hung, and the plaster had given way. So all these little bits and remnants here are plaster. And that might be what's pushing down on the person in question, or you might find this. So here you can see I took a bucket and I just had to like sift all this material, basically like rocks and dust. Boy, what a mess that was. So if you're doing this, put down a tarp or something. If if you have a stove or a countertop underneath, it was a real mess to clean up. But yeah, so that might be an issue. That might be where this person who wrote the comment may be having a problem, is that there's something on top of the ceiling tiles that's weighing them down. It's not just the natural sagging over age of the glue coming undone or the adhesive coming undone or a couple staples popping. So getting rid of the original problem or the I'm sorry, not the original problem, but the underlying or overlying, in this case, problem is going to help you to take care of it. So here I was wondering whether or not I could just use the existing ceiling tiles and just use the same technique, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. I had to replace all of these. So as you can see later, I just had to like take these out and kind of and just ditch them. Now some of them I got to a point where I was able to prop some of them up, and then I was able to replace less of them. But yeah, this was a more detailed job, and actually I did video this entire process. So maybe I'll do a video of this where I show you how to replace the tiles instead of just putting them back up and doing a kind of a spot repair. So, but anyway, this video was just about addressing the problem that this person might have with the tile sagging again. And here you can see where the screws are. Let me get in here pretty good. Okay, see where the screws are here? They're flush. Now this one over here, I actually went too far in, and you can see that that's not really doing anything. It's just kind of like in place, but it's not holding it up. This is the better depth right here. This depth here. This depth is where the screws flush with the ceiling tile will hold it. It doesn't puncture the ceiling tile. Distributes the weight over top of it. But like I said, the ceiling tiles are really light, so are the screws, and that should not collapse under its own weight. If there's something on top of it, like fallen plaster, that is pushing down on the tiles, that may cause the problem with the sagging. So anyway, I hope this video helped the person who made the comment, and I hope it helps any people who are trying to do this very simple, inexpensive repair. These ceiling tiles cost $1 a piece at Home Depot where I got them. So, you know, I replaced 12. A box of screws, you know, $7. So you're talking under $20. I was able to do this repair. So if you have any more questions about it, please feel free to put them in the comments below. That's what this channel is all about. It's all about discussing things, solving problems, and helping each other. So I appreciate the comments. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. You know, obviously, when we do home improvements, we get frustrated. We feel like we're, you know, maybe not doing things the right way. We need a little bit of help. We're consulting with each other. That's exactly what it's all about. And if anybody out there has a better suggestion, please put it in the comments. I appreciate it. And your subscriptions are very welcome. That helps me a lot. So have a great day, and I hope to be talking to you all. Make it a good one. And good luck with your home repairs. Take care.